Have you ever been in a situation where you know what needed to be said, but your brain just froze? Maybe a teacher said something about your child that felt wrong, but you didn't know how to respond without sounding combative. Or you needed to write an email to the school, to a doctor's office, to the insurance company, but your mind just went blank. Or maybe you were holding back tears in the kitchen after a relative told you, again, that your child is just spoiled or manipulating you. And all you wanted was the words to shut them down without starting a war. I've been there so many times. And that's what I want to talk to you about today. A secret tool that I use as a weapon, ChatGPT. Now, I want to be clear, this is not an ad. This isn't about replacing your voice or minimizing your role as an advocate. This is about supporting your voice. Because when you're overwhelmed, exhausted, emotionally fried, and still trying to show up as your child's fiercest advocate and protector, it's okay to lean on tools to help you. So I'm going to walk you through 8 real ways I've used ChatGPT and how you can too. And I'll include specific examples you can use or tweak or fit your situation. Think of this as your backup brain. Your calm in the storm assistant. Your I need help now friend who never gets tired. Let's get into it. Welcome to the Be Mighty Mom podcast. I'm your host, Ash, mom to an autistic child with a rare disease, boundary setter, and your voice of fierce, honest truth. This isn't just support, it's a movement where we ditch the fluff, get honest about autism and rare disease, and what it really takes to advocate for our kids, especially with family. Let's jump right into number 1. Write scripts for tricky conversations. Let's start with the school. Let's say your child's teacher keeps using the word disruptive when describing your kid in class. You know your child isn't trying to cause problems, but they're overwhelmed. Their sensory system is overloaded. They're trying to cope. But how do you explain that, especially if you're emotional or feel like you're already being labeled that mom? This is when I'll literally open ChatGPT and type something like, "Can you help me write a message to my child's teacher that explains his behavior is due to sensory overload, not defiance?" What I usually get back is a calm, confident, and clear message. For example, I wanted to touch base about some of the recent behavior concerns you've raised. My son experiences sensory overload in environments that are noisy, visually busy, or unpredictable. What may appear as disruptive behavior is often a stress response to those triggers. We're working on supports at home, and I'd love to collaborate with you on ways to help him succeed in the classroom. Boom. Same thing with a coach who thinks your child is being disrespectful when they don't make eye contact. Or a parent on the playground who tells you your kid is too old to have meltdowns. ChatGPT helps you explain neurodivergent behavior through a respectful, educational lens, not defensiveness. You still get to be firm, but you also get to be factual. And you don't have to carry the emotional burden of trying to find the right words in the heat of the moment. The second way you can use ChatGPT to help advocate for your child is to ask it to draft letters and emails that get taken seriously. Let's shift to something every medical or disability parent eventually has to face: the formal letter. Maybe the school isn't following the IEP. Maybe speech therapy your child desperately needs was just denied by insurance. Maybe you're requesting specific support like visual schedules or a sensory break plan. The stakes feel high. You want to be taken seriously, but your brain? Mush. ChatGPT can literally help you write the whole thing. Here's what I've asked before. Chat, using all of the symptoms that I've compiled here, could you please write a letter to my son's pediatrician, listing it out in order in a way that gets us taken seriously and seen by a specialist he needs? And it responded with a full message I could copy and paste straight into an email. Now, obviously, you'll want to personalize these, but the heavy lifting is done. You no longer have to write from scratch when you're running on zero sleep and 5 cups of coffee. The third way that you can use ChatGPT is to have it break down dense medical language. Let me tell you, nothing makes me want to throw my phone faster than seeing a test result full of medical acronyms I don't understand. And I have a medical background. When I got my son's genetic report and I saw C.565_568DEL, P''A, so many things, GNAS mutation, I wanted to cry for a lot of reasons. And I did. But then I pasted that exact same text into ChatGPT and it said what I needed to see. What you can see is it explains it to you in plain English, no jargon, no shame, not embarrassment, just something I could actually see without having to embarrass myself in front of a doctor. You can do these for any type of test results, or any diagnostic terms, or even a specialist report. It's like having a translator on standby, one that respects how smart and capable you are, even if medicine isn't your first language. Okay, I discussed how I don't like to be embarrassed in the doctor's office, and that's where number 4 also helps with that. You can prepare for your appointment like a boss. Okay, deep breath. You have a big appointment coming up. Maybe you're seeing a new specialist or a follow-up where you know you'll need to push back on something. These moments are so stressful, and I have used ChatGPT to prep. I asked it, can you help me prepare for a pediatric appointment where I have to advocate for a certain test? Or what's a respectful way to bring up that I felt dismissed in previous appointments? What it gives me is a list of questions to ask, a gentle but firm language, something that says like, in the past, I've sometimes felt like my concerns were minimized, and I just want to be sure we're approaching this appointment as a team. This is gold. It helps me feel calm, centered, prepared, and in control. I walk in with clarity, not chaos. All right, the 5th way that you can use ChatGPT to help you advocate for your autistic child or medically complex child. Advocate with family who don't get it. This one hits close to home. If you have a family member who keeps forwarding you conspiracy videos, tells you your kid just needs discipline, or insists he'll grow out of it, you know how exhausting those conversations can be. I've used ChatGPT to write texts, emails, even short phone scripts, and I've had it help me interpret what was being sent to me. I've typed things like, help me write a kind but firm message to family that we're not discussing vaccine misinformation. Or how do I explain that meltdowns are not tantrums and not something he can just snap out of? And what I get back is a clear, compassionate, written message that helps me hold the line without burning bridges. If you ever wished your family just understood autism a little bit better, this is for you. I created a free resource called Dear Family, a compassionate guide to helping loved ones understand autism. It's simple, kind, and packed with what most people never get taught, like how autism is a neurotype, not a behavior problem, and how to have better conversations with family who might not get it yet. You can download it for free right now at BeMightyMom.com/resources. That's BeMightyMom.com/resources. It's time to stop explaining everything alone and start getting the support you deserve. If you've taken your child out, you know how important it is to find places that are accessible. The 6th way that you can use ChatGPT is to make public places more inclusive. You ever walk into a museum or a church or a birthday party and think, this space wasn't made for my kid, but you want it to be. They want it to be. And you'd ask if you knew how. That's where this next tip comes in. You can try, can you write an email to our local library suggesting a sensory-friendly event for neurodivergent kids? Or help me propose a sensory-friendly shopping hour at our local grocery store. You'll get language that sounds thoughtful and collaborative, not demanding or critical. And honestly, these small asks can create big change for more people than just your child. Okay, this next one might be the most powerful of all. Number 7, process your own emotions using ChatGPT. Now, this is not a replacement for therapy. This is just a supplement to therapy in between your sessions. Sometimes what you need isn't a script or a letter or an advocacy plan. You need space. You need a place to collapse and not be judged. There have been nights I've opened ChatGPT and typed, "I feel defeated. Can you help me journal about this? I'm exhausted from constantly advocating. Can you help me reframe this into something empowering?" And the response isn't robotic. It's warm. It asks me questions. It reflects back kindness. It gives me the language I couldn't find on my own. Sometimes you just need someone or something to help carry the weight, even at 2:00 in the morning. Number 8, this is the last one, and this one is a game changer. Use ChatGPT to create advocacy materials to share. You need to hand off your child to a new teacher, or maybe your friend's going to babysit for the first time, and you want them to actually understand your kid. Try asking, "Can you help me create a one-page profile for my autistic child that explains his communication style, sensory needs, and how to support him?" Or write a printable sheet called "Meet My Mighty Kid" in a friendly tone. It builds bridges between your child and the people around them. It helps others see your child the way you do. ChatGPT is not a replacement for your voice. It's not about outsourcing your voice either. It's about supporting you and your voice. You're already showing up with heart, strength, and determination. You already know your child better than anyone. But when you're too tired to find the words, let tools help you. When you need to write something important, let it be your co-writer. When you're at your limit, let it be your backup. You are the expert. You are the advocate. And now you have a mighty tool in your pocket. If this episode even gave you one helpful idea, please share it with another parent or leave a review. It helps more than you know. Until next time, be fierce, be kind, be mighty. Bye.